Dominator's back, folks. It is Sunday, fun day, and we are drafting tonight. Billy Muzio and the Podfather. We were blessed, Matt, and we got the one hole tonight in this draft. I'm excited for us to kick this thing off, get it rocking and rolling, just have a little fun tonight and draft a little FFPC Best Ball. How you doing?
I love the FFPC. I love fantasy drafts. I love Best Ball. I love August. I love the NFL. I love everything. I love the 101.
101.
It's the way if you have so much Jamar Chase, right? Because he's there at the 102, 103, 104 sometimes. So you just get Jefferson. This is the only way you get Jefferson. Is got to get the 101s. This is how you can load up on as much Jefferson as you can possibly. I wish I could get more Jefferson. But the problem is you can't really get more than, say, 15% Jefferson because you have to have the 101.
Yeah, very rarely does he go 102. I was blessed one day and got him at the 103 because somebody went Kelsey and Jamar Chase. And so then at that point now you can usually get a pretty unique team because it doesn't happen very often. So you don't need to reach that far ahead to grab somebody who is maybe going to go in the middle or to the early part of round 3 that you want to maybe push up and get onto the lineup, and maybe somebody falls in round 2. So anytime that you get Justin Jefferson or a chance to get Justin Jefferson in these drafts, you just need to lock it in because, as Matt mentioned, you can get Jamar Chase, Kelsey, McCaffrey, and anyone thereafter at the 2, 3, 4, and even 5 hole sometimes.
It's great. So it goes Jefferson, Chase, Kelsey, right? And that's pretty standard. I mean, the way you would get Chase at the 104 or even the 105 is McCaffrey, Eckler, Kelsey all go before him. So that has been done. 105 Chase is certainly in the range of outcomes for any given draft, though highly unlikely. Justin Jefferson, the absolute latest you would ever get him is 103, as you mentioned. So you just got to go Jefferson here. And the more Chase and Jefferson and Chase you can possibly acquire, the better. Now, Cooper Kupp goes to the 106. And this is fascinating because I'm conflicted. I typically avoid injured players in August. If you're not practicing, if you have a severe soft tissue injury in preseason, in training camp, I don't want anything to do with you. I just say no. There's so many healthy players. Say no to the injured ones. But this one's tough, man. Cooper Kupp's a tough one.
It is a tough one because we know when he's healthy, he's one of, if not the best receiver in football. We know there's not a lot of other options inside of this receiving core either. I mean, we're talking about the likes of Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, Puka Nacua. I mean, it just gets disgusting.
It's disgusting right away, right? Even Higbee is disgusting. I know we like Higbee because the opportunities, the targets are going to be there. But my God, man, it's not like they're going to be winning. It's not like the Rams have an elite defense, so they're going to be throwing to stay in games.
Yeah, the soft tissue is always a little scary. And then on top of it, we know that Kupp just hasn't, been the healthiest in his career, has always played a little bit banged up. I mean, outside his 2021 campaign where he was the wide receiver 1 of football, he's missed games every single year, either thereafter or before. He played 15 games his rookie year, 8 games in 2018 when he injured his knee, and then he played 16 games, 15 games, 17 in 2021, like we mentioned, and then 9 last year. So it's always a little scary when we see Cooper Kupp's name on the injury report. And it's not like he's getting any younger. He just turned 30, and his quarterback is played a little banged up last year as well. So it's definitely on my radar, something I'm going to be watching and listening to from the beat writers, because it's one of those things where if he doesn't get on the field soon, or if maybe it lingers like a lot of soft tissue issues do, then we might need to start bumping him down in the rankings. But it's just hard to bump him down too far because it's Cooper freaking Kupp, and we know what he's capable of doing.
But at this point, I'd rather have Eckler than him.
Yeah, I think I'd take Eckler as well. I've actually fired up the Sun God ahead of him in a couple drafts just to get unique.
When you think about it, Amon-Ra St. Brown is in a very similar situation to Cooper Kupp, but he's in a better offense.
Yeah, with a better offensive line as well.
Exactly, and they're very similar players. These guys are, if there is the next Cooper Kupp out there, similar play style, similar mental acuity, information processing, level of studiousness and work ethic, Amon-Ra St. Brown is right there with Cooper Kupp. So I would rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown. I would rather have Austin Eckler, but I'm not letting Cooper Kupp get out of the first round. No way. Not happening.
Well, we're speaking of first round. We just ended the first round. We're halfway through the second. Before we get to our second pick, let's get a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey, we're all starting new fantasy leagues all the time. And more often than not, where do we start our fantasy leagues at Player Profiler? On Sleeper. Because it's the best. You can imagine my excitement when I saw Sleeper rolled out Sleeper picks, baby. Now, you know I love Kenny Pickett, right? Week 1, who does he face? San Francisco. That's a bummer. So I'm going to be going less than on Kenny Pickett's projected yardage and on whichever quarterback is starting for San Francisco in Week 1. Probably not Trey Lance. But then, who do the Steelers face in Week 2? The Browns, right? We think the Browns are going to crank things up. So there, you can say, hey, Kenny Pickett, more than his projected passing yards. And you keep on correlating. Elijah Moore, more than. George Pickens, more than. And if you pick up to 8, that's how you 100x your payout on Sleeper. It's called the Hail Mary. So if you use promo code Underworld, you get a $100 instant deposit match. Check out Sleeper's terms and conditions for details. These Sleeper picks are live in over 25 states. Yeah, buddy.
I love the yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I like that. He's a nice looking guy, man. He looks cool. Looks like a fun dude to hang out with. Super nice, really charismatic spokesman. Awesome.
So speaking of Trey Lance, real quick, Trey Lance just reminded me of a dream I had, or should I say nightmare. I was talking with some folks about the 49ers and the quarterback situation, and then I had this dream that Trey Lance was in the middle of a game, and I don't know if the dream was preseason or if it was the season, but he threw this like 50-yard bomb in the corner of the end zone where like no one else but Brandon Ayuk could catch it. Brandon Ayuk toe tapped it and came down, and I'm like, oh man, that was a beautiful throw. And me being the Purdy stands, I woke up like, oh man, I'm so glad that dream was fake. Oh, all right, we're on deck here. Let's take a look.
They want us to pick Jonathan Taylor.
I mean, I'm fine taking JT and taking the gamble. JT, Chris Olave, Devonta Smith. I'm going to pull up the stack finder too real quick.
Could double tap Devonta Smith and Chris Olave.
Yeah, let me pull up the stack finder and see how owned all these combinations are so we can discuss uniqueness as well during this pick. Thank God this guy is killing the clock because this just loaded. Okay, there we go. We have Jefferson. We know that's owned everywhere. So you said Olave and Smith?
If we go Olave and Devonta Smith, then what?
Olave and Devonta Smith is owned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times in the tournament. That's not that bad. If we went JT in this mix,
Devonta Smith's gone. So I think
if we add Taylor to the mix, there's only 4 teams with those 3. So
Taylor Olave
for me. How about you?
Yeah, I love Taylor. Taylor Olave is great.
Okay. Do we want to drive down Taylor's ADP and take him one pick later than Olave? I think we should. That's what we call ADP manipulation, folks.
Does anyone think that Jonathan Taylor is actually going to sit out?
I don't. Do you?
What is this? How what? He's a better pass catcher than Derrick Henry, and he's just as good of a runner. He's equal to Derrick Henry as a runner, and he's in his super prime, and he's playing for his next contract.
And you've heard the rumors of the teams that are interested, right? Have you heard the number 1 team, the Chiefs?
Oh, stop it.
Like
they can rectify the mistake.
Exactly. That's
my God, from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You could have had him. You took Edwards-Helaire instead.
How awesome would it be if Edwards-Helaire goes to the Colts with like a pick or maybe another back or whatever the pieces are, and they get JT for the 1-year rental and then maybe up the contract next year? That'd be awesome.
God, that's like the Colts acquiring Trent Richardson.
Yeah. And
right?
Then
some of the worst first-round running backs ever end up on the Colts.
Oh God, Trent Richardson. God, haven't heard that name in a while. I do not miss watching him run to the backs of linemen.
So the one thing that bums me out about this team is that we're setting ourselves up to draft pocket passing quarterbacks.
We are. Yeah, this is potentially. I mean, or you could gamble. You could take a Anthony Richardson, and then if Jonathan Taylor doesn't get traded and he just ends up playing, or they have a contract settlement and he's still on the Colts, and then you have Richardson and JT. So you can get a little unique here in some crazy builds.
Would you have considered Lamar Jackson where we picked?
No.
No.
If Andrews falls to us, yeah, I try to pair the two. You could, I mean, if we could have possibly looked at it and said how often is it owned? The problem is I'm facing my own teams where I got Lamar Jackson in the 4 or 5 turn of this tournament, because early inside this tournament, that's where he was going because of the contract uncertainty and people didn't know where he was going to go. And so now, of course, he's been pushed up into round 3 and 4, and so consistently goes in round 3. He's typically middle to end of round 3. Like we should see him go. I'm surprised actually the Andrews team didn't take him, quite frankly. But he's usually goes anywhere from that like 3-7 to the 3-12 mark. And you see people who will get, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown, Andrews, and then come back around and get Lamar Jackson. I'd like to do it also if I have like Tyreek or if I have Waddle, because they have the week 17 correlation.
I can't believe that team didn't select him.
I'm pretty shocked, actually. They went with
drafted Mark Andrews, the 206, drafted Josh Jacobs.
And it would have stacked because Tyreek plays Baltimore week 17, so he has like the ultimate correlation there.
Oh my God, best ball to stack up week 17.
He would have had the 3-way stack.
What happened? By the way, this part of every draft is so gross.
It's round 3. I'm not crazy about round 3 either.
Gross.
I wish I could trade back. Like you could just.
I know. You don't want any of these guys. You don't want Najee Harris. Blah, right? He was outplayed by Jalen Warren in all phases last year. You don't want Calvin Ridley. Hasn't played in 2 years.
Yep. I'm not a huge Ridley fan.
You lose that football shape no matter how vigorously you work out in the off season or while you're sitting out, while you're suspended.
Mm-hmm.
You're never the same. Ask Le'Veon Bell. You're never the same when you come back.
It ruined his career.
Yeah.
That and the Jets, but you could pick a poison.
I mean, look at the players that I'm staring at. I'm staring at Kenneth Walker. There's a guy I love, but I'm not drafting him. He's not healthy. He's month to month. I hope he starts the season on the active roster and not on the PUP, but I'm not sure. And he's not going to be 100% in week 1. He's not going to be in playing shape either in week 1. So I just, it's rarely a good idea to draft injured players. There is a case for Cooper Kupp if he were to fall to the end of the first round. There's really no case for Kenneth Walker until you have some certainty that he is going to be ready and he's going to be something close to 100% week 1. There's so many good running backs that you can draft, like Rashad White and Miles Sanders and Cam Akers. You don't need to pull the lever for Kenneth Walker. As much as I respect him and I think he's so much better than Zach Charbonnet, the stay away from injured players, do not draft injured players, trumps even that.
Although I do think that there's a point at which they become a value on the board, right? Where the news has pushed the player down so much. And for instance, like Walker, like I've seen him go middle to late round 5. And at that point, I'm very comfortable pulling the trigger on him.
Very late round 5, round 6 for sure.
He doesn't go to 6 very often.
Dude. Cooper Kupp went ahead of Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, that guy's pretty much just saying he's not afraid of the injury.
I'm not doing that, right? Like we talked about. Stephon Diggs plays a similar game to Cooper Kupp in a better offense. Same with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And Tyreek Hill plays a different kind of game, and he oftentimes was being drafted ahead of Cooper Kupp even before Cooper Kupp went down and was helped off the field. The tension point with Cooper Kupp becomes CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. That to me is the tension point.
Look how early Justin Herbert went in this draft, and I don't hate it because I've honestly been saying this is where he probably should go this year.
Oh,
and
he's going to be a monster.
He's
going for the MVP.
He has not been going like this early at all. He usually goes in like the beginning to middle of round 5. You can get him sometimes at the middle to end of round 5, but this is a full round, if not more, than above his norm. But I'm totally fine with it. I mean, he probably leads the league in passing attempts, maybe yards. With the addition of Kellen Moore over there, you could see this a really explosive offense. And I've liked Herbert. We always knew he has the weapons, and I'm excited to see what they do this year. Like I love Justin Herbert.
Breece Hall is currently on the PUP. He's another player that I don't want to draft because he is not healthy. But thankfully, someone took him off our hands. They took the gun out of our hands. Thank you. Thank you, Todd from PA. Thank you. God, thank you. Now we're staring at a player that you don't want, Amari Cooper.
Nope.
And Joe Mixon, who it would be great to get Joe Mixon as our hero RB, but we already have Jonathan Taylor. This is the problem with drafting a running back in the first 3 picks, is that you can't take advantage as well of the hero RB that can fall to you in round 4 and 5.
There's a lot of options here, though. I'm just taking a look at some. So New Orleans, let's start looking at stacks. New Orleans, week 17 is Tampa Bay. Week 16, they have the Rams. Week 15, they have the Giants. So that opens up Waller on the turn. And Tampa Bay, we can always get those pieces later. We also have Jonathan Taylor. We can't really start stacking with Indianapolis because we don't know exactly where he's going to land. So let's look at Minnesota. Minnesota, week 17 has Green Bay. Week 16, they have Detroit. And week 15, they have Cincinnati. So
this turn pick is so pukey. It is so pukey.
I like the turn here. I'm looking at a lot. I see like six players right now that I really like.
I know, but what about Rachaad White? We're not going to have any option of getting Rachaad White or Chris Godwin. 2 of the best value players are on Tampa Bay, and we're probably going to get sniped on both of them. They're not going to come back to us.
Godwin will come back every now and then.
Okay, well, let's pray that Godwin comes back. Rachaad White's getting steamed up. No way we're going to get Rachaad White.
White will not make it back anymore. Remember when the last Dominator draft we did, we got him in round 8. Do you remember that?
Do you want to just draft him here?
We could. It goes with the team.
Yeah, I think we should. I love Rachaad White so much. Or there's also the possibility of double tapping Justin Fields, DJ Moore.
You could do that. We don't have any other stacks there.
DJ Moore.
I like DJ Moore. I just think it's a lateral move. I'm not crazy about his. So if
you're stacking with Fields,
yeah, you are stacking with Fields. But then we'd have to look at Atlanta late, Arizona late, or Cleveland for 15, 16, 17, which I'm fine with. That being said, if you listen to the stat, I think it was Larky who posted this. If you doubled Justin Fields' pass attempts last year, he would lead the league in passing attempts, but only by 3. That's by doubling his statistics.
Well, he's going to pass a lot more this year. I mean, I got news for everybody.
How much
doubting how much he's going to pass? He's going to pass a lot more.
Do you think he'll hit 4,000 yards? No Chicago Bears quarterback has ever done it in the franchise in their NFL franchise history.
3,900.
3,900. Okay, just under
3,900. The other wide receiver I love in this zone, and I want him bad, is Terry McLaurin. They're going to throw a lot. You look at our
their end of year schedule. Their shootout schedule is brutal. I don't think so. They play that 16-17. They get the Jets and SF. They're gonna get annihilated. They're gonna get eaten alive. That front and the secondary on the Jets, they're gonna destroy them.
Understood. But I want to tell you that the number 1 receiver, even on a team that's getting blown out, can put up big time fantasy production in garbage time in the 4th quarter. Yes, that's a reason to stay away from Samuel and Dotson and even Gibson, but not the number 1. The number 1 is typically insulated from any schedule problems because if they're losing by 20, they're going to have to throw. And Terry McLaurin is underrated as Dotson is moving up, and it's at Terry McLaurin's expense. They're going to throw a lot. Looking at the world famous draft kit, Washington is going to be one of the league leaders in plays run. So I love Terry McLaurin, but you don't have to draft him here. We got a lot of great options. You want to go
Judy's
Rashad
still
White?
on the board. Judy's on the board. Rashad White's on the board. I'm open to doing your Fields and DJ Moore take here, because then we could get some cheap Atlanta plays later, like Tyler Algier. We could get Mac Hollins in like round 20.
It's a fun thing to do. Rashad White is also fun, and Jerry Judy's also fun.
Yeah,
Jerry Judy's a great value here.
Yeah, Jerry Judy is a good value here. His average right now is like 3.5, 3.6 range.
Why don't you go ahead and take him?
We're not up yet. We got one more guy between us. There he goes. We're not even live. We're getting sniped. This is awesome.
Oh, he got. Of course. That wasn't a snipe though. There was no way we're gonna get him. All right, now it gets interesting. Now we could do our Fields.
You could do Fields,
DJ Moore stack without,
because then it allows us to just
about it.
Punt QB2, which I'm totally fine to like. We could take Ritter late too, even.
No, we're gonna take Carr late.
We could take Carr or Ritter now. It's either that or the only other person worth mentioning that I like here is Hopkins, because I still believe he's an alpha receiver.
DJ Moore is an alpha also. DJ Moore, Justin Fields is fun as hell.
All right, let's do. I'm fine with it, because now we can punt the quarterback too, and I like the upside that it gives us.
There's Justin Fields. It's a fun thing to do. Have you seen most people doing this? This seems like a common thing to do in best ball.
Yeah, people take these two pretty frequently, not necessarily with this team, but now DJ Moore's our wide receiver 3. I'm okay with it. I have Hopkins significantly higher than him in my rankings, but for us, for a stack, I'm okay with it. And it gives us a better roster construction, because it allows us now to hang our hat on a QB1, and then we can, punt that second quarterback. Like we mentioned, we could take Carr, we could take Ritter late.
Cousins.
If Cousins falls later, like,
you can wait for Cousins to fall. You can go for Carr. You can go for Ritter. There's a lot of fun things you can do.
There's a lot of things we could do. And if we do get somebody like Chris Godwin to fall to us late, you could even take Baker if you really wanted to. Want to get that disgusting?
Oh, man. No, that's fun. I like Baker this year. Yeah, Baker is one of those disgusting quarterbacks that has no competition.
And it's one of those guys.
Kyle Trask has no interest in being an NFL quarterback.
And you can get Baker, like, Baker's like this, forgotten man. Like, you can get him so late in drafts. It's hilarious. Like, he goes undrafted in a lot of these things.
Hopkins is attractive, but he's going to go soon.
Yeah, Hopkins always goes on this 4-5 turn. It's actually later than he typically goes now.
McLaurin is going to go. What about Christian Kirk if he slips?
Kirk won't make it back. There's no way.
Okay. Godwin is the one guy that could slip.
Godwin could slip.
Oh my God, if we got Godwin. I love God. This is another great example. Like, I know these teams aren't good, but the number one receiver is insulated from a lot of the downward pressure that bad teams put on the fantasy production of their skill position players. The one guy that typically still produces good team, bad team, low scoring, high scoring is that first read wide receiver. The beauty of Christian Kirk is I think he's going to be that this year in Jacksonville, and they're going to be one of the better offenses in the league. But there's no reason not to love Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin would have been a guy I was pounding the table for with our last pick, but because there's a strong possibility we can get him with our next pick, it's like, yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah, I wouldn't say strong possibility, but it's definitely a possibility. I've seen him go in the 7th round, 6-7 turn a few times. He typically averages, though, like just in most drafts, Godwin usually goes in like the beginning of round 6, to middle around 6. So there is a possibility. Probably won't happen, but it definitely can. Evans goes late 7, which you can always push up if you wanted to. There's lots of different options here. You know who's been going around 7 pretty frequently lately? Has been J.K. Dobbins. He's been going because of him not being at practice and holding out. He can go. I got him at like 7-7 the other day, which was awesome.
Okay, so Dobbins and Jonathan Taylor do not count as injured players because they're not actually injured. They're running backs that are faking being injured because they're trying to do everything they can because the goddamn players union took away all their leverage.
They did take away.
They have no negotiating power whatsoever. So now they're forced to lie about injuries. That's the position they've been put in by their players union. There goes Godwin. Damn it!
Look at that. He went early. Yeah, I said it's a possibility. I didn't say it was going to happen.
That person's smart. Who is that? Oh, my God. GNA Win BB4 is a good fantasy player. They get it. They focus on the right details. And now all of a sudden, wide receiver has been completely cleaned out, as is what happens in best ball. And now it's just running backs as far as the eye can see on the board.
Yeah,
this is terrible.
There's some good receivers there still. Deontay Johnson's still there.
Michael Pittman.
Brandon Ayuk is still there. Pittman is still there.
What about the Richardson Pittman stack?
You could, because now now you kind of hedging, because if Taylor doesn't miss time, or if he gets traded, you still have a piece. If he doesn't, you're not taking it next pick though. Richardson, that's early for Richardson.
No, Richardson goes around pick 108, so that would be the next pick.
Yeah.
It would line up for us. We'd be picking at like pick 96. We'd be picking him about 12 spots ahead of ADP.
Yeah, you take him because he goes to the end around 10. Yeah, that's exactly.
So we could do that.
I got a discount on him because I don't own a lot of them, just because I'm not crazy about his ADP. I do think that there's going to be a steep of a learning curve with him, at least from a passing perspective, because he wasn't the most accurate passer in college. He's got the legs. He's got the athleticism. He destroyed the combine. My fear is that he's a combine warrior, and he's going to have a bit of struggles in his rookie campaign as a passer. And what's going to happen is if he can't pass the ball, they're just going to start loading up the box to force him to throw and take away his mobility. And that's not a good thing for him. And you sound
like the guy in Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You sound like you're drawing lines across the whiteboard. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. This guy was a fast information processor. The guy did he maxed out a completely talentless roster in Florida. Had no receivers. What receivers from Florida came into the NFL? Were selected in the NFL draft? None. Right? There's none. There's nothing there to help him. And yet he was a much faster information processor, much more decisive with the football than Will Levis. Those two guys are comparable because they have the 1 or 2 seasons where they didn't put up the prolific passing yards numbers, but one guy took a ton of sacks, the other guy didn't. The other guy was actually more careful with the football, a lot more careful with the football than Will Levis was, showing that he's prepared to actually play well in year one. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Richardson is actually a better passer, is just more poised, better in all phases than Bryce Young, who's currently overrated. His preparation, his ability to pick up NFL defenses, that's all been overrated because he's been trained to ace the test, right? If you study to the test, once you actually get in a real situation in a live sport, if you've just been studying to the test, it's not the same. It's not the same. That's not Anthony Richardson has actually been a gamer the whole time. And everything we're hearing from camp is glowing about this guy. We would have heard by now the whisper campaign that he's not ready, that he's making bad decisions, that the coaches are having their doubts. We're not hearing any of that.
You're not hearing the word doubt, but you're hearing the word, we got to get him on the field sooner rather than later for him to learn, which is an indirect way of saying he's not ready to start yet and Minshew's starting. So we have to read between the lines here. I'm a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm a little bit more cautious when it comes to Anthony Richardson, because
the word you're looking for is reticent. You are reticent.
I mean, when you talk about things he's maxed out, he also maxed out 50% completion percentages across college, like 50% in 2020, 59% in 2021, 53.8% in 2022. The dude has never hit a 60% completion percent in college. He's very dependent on those legs. Those numbers are not going to get better.
Guess who we might get?
I know, dude. Don't even say his name. You're going to jinx it.
Guess who we
don't even
might
say his name.
Get.
Don't say his name.
Oh man, if we get him. So are you in or out on Michael Pittman?
I'm starting to really like him because of how late he's been going.
I love Michael Pittman here. Remember Michael Pittman was a second round pick in fantasy last year?
Yeah, and he's
nothing
still the
changed.
number one. Well, yeah,
He's
you know
the
what
same
changed?
guy.
He has a
He's
quarterback who
the
can't
alpha
fucking
receiver.
throw the ball. That's what happened.
Oh man, I love
Don't
Pittman.
say it. I like Pittman too.
I think we should draft him and then see what happens.
We could.
I love it. I love going all in on the two most explosive, exciting, dynamic quarterbacks as runners, not named Lamar Jackson.
The only problem is both these guys don't have any green. But there's two names around this area, so hopefully they pick one or the other. Don't take them. Don't take them. Oh, one more to go.
God.
One more to go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We could get him. We could get him.
I'm trying to think of it.
Him.
Maybe. This guy's no green. No green. I'm nervous. Don't take him.
We could get him.
Don't do it. The only problem is the guy ahead of him is holding out.
We were going to get Jerry Jeudy, and he sniped us last time.
He did, and we're not even live.
But it wasn't a snipe because Jeudy should have been gone by then anyway.
Correct.
This won't be a snipe either.
This one would be a snipe.
It would feel like a snipe. It would feel terrible. He's taking a lot of time.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out how
he's
he can
taking a lot of time. I think he would have taken him by now.
Yes!
Hey, we got him! Oh my God! See?
All right,
Why
I'm good.
You don't reach.
I'm good taking Rachaad White and Pittman, or we can go Rachaad White.
No, it's Rachaad White Pittman. We've talked it through.
All right, I'm okay.
This is
with
happening.
Let's do it.
This we're not doubting. This we're not overthinking.
I don't own a lot of Pittman either.
Boom, boom. Quality players in their prime. Quality players in their absolute prime years. And whether it's Minshew or whether it's Richardson, Pittman is going to eat.
Now this opens up late tight ends for us because we could technically take Jelani Woods now.
Can we go 4 tight ends now?
Yes. Yeah. Unless we get like 2 at the like 9-10 turn that fall, then this is probably gonna be a 4 tight end build, which is okay because now it's a 2 quarterback build, so it's gonna work out.
Probably a 2 quarterback build. If we go with Anthony Richardson, we could still go Derek Carr, Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, and then you get really cheap, or even exactly.
So that's always possible. So the bottom line is we have 4 receivers. That's good. That's where you want to be.
We're in a good spot.
We're all in on late round tight end. That's a great spot to be.
We got 2 running backs.
Our anchor quarterback is a super dynamic rushing quarterback. That's great. And our 2 running backs we got at incredible values at discounts, and they're all-purpose backs. Jonathan Taylor can't catch passes. He could set a career high in receptions this year. I expect him to.
Yeah. I don't think Taylor sits out this season. I really don't.
He's not going to sit out.
There's no way. There's because then he loses a year of eligibility too.
He can't. He's not sitting out a game. He loses game checks. He loses money, and he develops a reputation of being difficult.
A bad team player. Exactly.
No, he doesn't want to do any of that. He wants the money. He wants the accolades. He wants the statistics, and he wants to move on and have as many choices when he reaches free agency as possible. So sitting out games only hurts him. He has no leverage. The team could just sign Leonard Fournette, could just sign Ezekiel Elliott and play Evan Hull and Deion Jackson. This is where NFL teams are at now with the running back position. These running backs know it. They have no leverage.
Yeah.
So they have to just play and do their best. You know what? Jonathan Taylor, it's unfair what they're doing, the way they've devalued the position, but you just have to go out there and do your best now.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree. And then I liked did you see the sentiment that Travis Etienne said? It was like, in order for running backs to get paid, they just need to be more versatile, and they can't just be 2 down runners. They need to go out and, be explosive in the passing game. And he specifically mentioned 2 names, Christian McCaffrey and, of course, our boy Austin Eckler, because those 2 guys were out there getting 100 targets. They're doing it in the air, doing it on the ground. I mean, when you talk about
this actually makes me worried.
What?
Travis Etienne sounds like he's too smart to be a running back. That guy sounds really smart. Like, that's an incredibly insightful and self-aware comment.
Exactly. And it just shows you that he's saying, hey, I need to develop this part of my game if I want a big contract, because I see Austin Eckler, who just got a new contract. The Niners just went out and spent a ton of picks to get Christian McCaffrey. So it's not necessarily the running back position that's being devalued. It's the action of what that running back is doing that is being devalued. It's the 2-down runner. It's the plotter down the middle. It's the guy who isn't able to pass pro. It's the guy that isn't able to go out and run a route. Those are the ones in the running backs that are being devalued.
No, I agree with him. He gets it.
Yeah.
He wants to go out there and maximize his own value on the merits, not with tricks and not with falsehoods about his health. I really appreciate that. Wow. I'm forever going to think of Travis Etienne on another level.
Yeah.
Like, he sounds like an intellectual.
Yeah. I loved the quote when I saw it.
I can't believe it. That is so rare in the NFL. I mean, it's just even, how many guys out there, say insightful stuff, right? Torrey Smith was a super insightful guy. I can think of a few, but man, especially self-aware and understand the position that the players union is in, and the job of the players union, and not getting steamrolled by them. There's a few players like Torrey Smith out there, but typically it's like, man, and to play a violent sport like this, you honestly don't want to be too self-aware. Right? You want to be just ego-soaked and just singularly focused on this job, right? And forget about the business side. But, I wish Etienne all the best. He gets it, and he's a phenomenal talent. So it's kind of cool to see.
So we are now in the beginning of round 8. We got to start looking at the board, talking through some of our picks. By us going the Colts there with Pittman, we talked about Anthony Richardson on the next turn potentially, or on this turn potentially, by reaching a little bit.
Oh, God. Flowers and Elijah Moore back to back. Oh, my God. That's a killer. I really want to go wide receiver. I want to go back to wide receiver.
We also have to think about our stacks, because we don't really have a lot of stacks right now. So we have pieces, but nothing really we have some correlation, but not a lot of correlation right now. So Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, and Vegas. That's weeks 15, 16, 17. So Atlanta goes with, we mentioned it earlier. Atlanta goes with Chicago, who we have for week 17. So any pieces of Atlanta that we can get later in the draft, we're going to want to do. So that'll give us a week 17 and week 16 correlation with 2 different teams.
Can't we just load up on Algier? Can we just grab Algier and
saying, like, late
bet
pieces
on their running game? Why don't we just link and stack the running game piece?
Yeah, Algier, Mac Hollins, you could do. That's pretty much it.
Mac Hollins late's great too. I'm fine with that. Is there any way that we can get exposure to yet another team and stack?
Yeah, so we have Minnesota. Let's see. Minnesota is with the Jets in week 15. Sorry. Cincinnati week 15, Detroit week 16, Green Bay 17. So that opens up some avenues, but not a lot. Then we have
it does.
Olave.
No, it does. It does, because I fundamentally believe that Jaden Reed's going to be a factor.
New Orleans was Tampa Bay, which we got some. We have Rashad White and Chris Olave right now, so we can talk about Derek Carr potentially on this team. That's week 17, and then week 16 they have the Rams, so we could throw in Van Jefferson late. We could throw in Higbee if he falls here.
Yep. Well, that because we're drafting 4 tight ends. But what about just wide receivers we just like? What about wide receivers that are incredible values, like Brandon Cooks?
Cooks is a good value.
I mean, is there any way that we could do a skinny stack of Dallas?
Dallas and Detroit are week 17. Dallas also has Miami and Buffalo. So you could do Dawson Knox late at the position.
Oh my God, this is brutal.
Yeah, it gets kind of.
Cook's naked, but one wide receiver naked isn't a bad thing, is it?
One receiver naked is not a bad thing at all.
I'm thinking Cooks and Anthony Richardson.
This is late for Jahan Dotson too.
I don't like that. I don't care.
You don't like Jahan Dotson?
All the reasons you didn't want McLaurin. I mean, McLaurin in round.
But Jahan Dotson might be the number 1 there this year.
No, come on, he's not. He's not.
Oh, there you go. You can think you can think pick 3.
Dude, we're not drafting Jahan Dotson. Get out of here.
He just went. You're lucky. Brandon Cooks is.
Oh my God, Cooks is a smash here. I think he's just on ADP. We got to draft him.
It's about 3/4 run late.
Or we could also just go. Why don't we just go Dak and Brandon Cooks and forget Anthony Richardson? You could do that too.
You could do that, and then you're done at the quarterback position.
Correct. What do you think there? The backdoor stack of Cooks and Prescott's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
and that would solve your problem. You don't have to invest in Anthony Richardson because you don't want to.
Do we want another quarterback this early, or do we just push the position? That's the main question.
We could also push the position.
We could go Michael Thomas here and deepen that stack with
oh my God
Brandon Cooks.
No,
you could go Tyler Higbee. I think Brandon Cooks for sure. Let's just lock in Brandon Cooks. Talk about the second pick.
Okay, we got Brandon Cooks.
So now the question is, do we want to go with Dak and be done?
Sky Moore is an option.
Yeah, Sky Moore was another one I'm thinking here. Sky Moore or even Cortland Sutton because of the consolidated targets now. I kind of like Sky Moore here.
Just take Sky Moore. That's if you're going to take a guy naked just on upside, it's got to have to be Sky Moore.
Yeah, this is Sky Moore's been climbing. I'm actually surprised he's still on the board.
I can't believe he's here.
Yeah, let's just take naked Sky Moore.
I can't believe that Brandon Cooks is here.
Let's take naked Sky Moore.
None of it has to be naked. We could backdoor stack all of them.
You can.
All these guys we can backdoor stack. It's not a big deal at all.
These are fine pieces that are naked too, though. We don't have to go get correlation with these teams.
I want running backs like Jonathan Taylor and Rachaad White at the top of my lineup, and I want to wait.
You could grab Irv Smith and get correlation with Sky Moore late
with
the tight end position for Cincinnati.
I want to get one quarterback that I can post up like Justin Fields. We did that.
Yeah.
Right. And in between all these rounds in between, load up on wide receiver. This is a best ball team.
I like our receivers we have right now.
I love them. This is what you want. This is what you want, man. So now we can go through the job of actually.
You know who we can take too late is Chase Brown, running back.
No, we're not taking bad players. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Bills, Dolphins, Lions to stack with Brandon Cooks. The Lions are rough. The Lions are tough to stack with because you don't want Jameson Williams. He's gonzo. Who is number 2? If let's run the thought experiment. Jameson Williams quits the NFL. He just can't handle
the
light of Amon-Ra St. Brown. He just can't do it. He's punching people. He's too frustrated. He can't handle it. Who's behind him?
So you have Laporta, who's been crushing camp.
Well, there we go.
Tight end position.
There we go.
You have my boy Marvin Jones, who's actually been doing well in camp again, and he's sneaky late. You can get him around 19, 20.
Okay, we're gonna get Marvin Jones. Love Marvin Jones late.
They got Mims from the Jets.
No, we're not doing Mims.
They got Josh Reynolds, and they got.
We're not doing Josh Reynolds. Come on.
You want me to keep getting gross here? It gets a little grosser.
Well, there's also Craig Reynolds.
Who?
So there's multiple Reynoldses.
Who?
They're number 3 running back.
Who? You have Khalif Raymond.
Oh, Khalif. Yeah, no, I love it. I love Khalif Raymond.
Although Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds, you can get around 20. Marvin Jones around 20.
You get all those guys around 20. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is not
too bad we don't have 3 around 20 picks.
This is not good. I like the Mac Hollins call. I love the Algier. Algier is the perfect, how big he looks? Third running back for us.
Have you seen how big Mac Hollins is this year?
Mac Hollins is gigantic.
Dude, he's like straight lips. He's so yoked this year. And he's talking about eating with his hands because that's what they're there for. We don't need silverware.
What?
I probably butchered the quote, but it was something along the lines of, "We just need to eat with our hands more. We have hands, so that's what they're there for." Dude, the guy's massive this year. He's so big.
All right. Patriots, Raiders, Bengals. We could Jacoby Myers for the Week 16 stack. Bengals. Bengals is tough, man. Bengals is tough. I think we just go Irv Smith. We're going to be drafting 4 tight ends, so we can easily just go.
You could throw Pierre Strong on and get a little bit of Week 15 correlation with Sky Moore. I keep listing names Matt hates.
No. I said no, Pierre. I mean, that's fine, but Week 15, come on, we're trying to win a league here.
Yeah,
Week 15.
Well, you got to get to Week 17. You have to get to Week 17.
I mean, I know you do, but I mean, we're not stacking Week 15. Come on. I'm looking at Week 16, Week 17 for stacking.
I kind of want to do this. I want to do a bunch of research on like Week 15 stacks and how many people.
Yeah, let's do some research on that. Spoiler alert. It's not something you care about.
But think about it. Every Week 15 matchup you win, you 3x your money in this platform.
Okay.
So if you could go out and just purely play Week 15, and then you have a few sneak into the championship without the correlation, you 3x, let's just say 25%.
Okay. In fairness, I goddamn love the Pierre Strong pick. Pierre Strong is one of those guys, especially in best ball. A guy like Jerome Ford, a guy like Zamir White, they're primarily runners, and they're going to get a huge rush share in the event of a Josh Jacobs injury or Nick Chubb injury. So they're not as attractive in best ball. Certainly, if the incumbent misses games, they're going to be, chalk in DFS, and they're going to be a part of the winning formula. There's no doubt for best ball. But injury or not, Pierre Strong's going to have weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Injury or not, Kenneth Gainwell's going to have weeks.
Yep.
That's why I like focusing on the satellite back plus backs, the bigger satellite backs that are going to command third down work regardless. Kenneth Gainwell's been active in the 2-minute drill, not DeAndre Swift. So I want to make sure if we're going to get another standalone asset, it's going to be Kenneth Gainwell late. But there's plenty of these options where we can find stacking partners. We do have to think about tight end at some point. This is a tight end premium format.
I think this is going to be a 4 tight end build unless somebody like Higbee or Schultz falls here. Or maybe you could argue Greg Dulcich because of the consolidated targets now in that offense with all the injuries. I think Dulcich gets a bump there. Dulcich, I know you don't want to hear Week 15 stacks, but Detroit stacks with Denver Week 15, and then we could use that Detroit piece for the Dallas Week 17 as well.
Oh my God, you're connecting dots.
I am connecting dots
that are just unconnectable, man.
No, you could go right here. You could go like Greg Dulcich and then Jameson Williams, right? And then you could go.
Laporta went. Laporta's gone.
Yeah, Laporta's been climbing.
That's a bummer.
He goes anywhere from like tight end 11 to like tight end 17.
What about the Roschon Johnson draft pick to continue with our Bears stack
later? Yeah,
or is that too negative correlation with Fields rushing?
No, that's just like 4 rounds too early in this format.
No, I'm planning ahead of what's our next running back.
Yeah, you could get him at the end of round 13 pretty.
No, I know. I'm not saying draft him in the next round, or we have a back-to-back picks coming up in 5 selections. We're not picking him there. We have to think about Dalton Schultz, Tyler Higbee.
Higbee has it's not Week 17. What did I say? The Rams are with New Orleans.
Dalton Kincaid. Yeah. Dalton Kincaid is a stack for us.
Yeah, Buffalo has
Dallas.
Week 15, though. See, look, here we go. I love the fact you're thinking of Week 15 now.
Oh, Jesus. It is Week 15. Shit.
It's going to be Jameson Williams to go with Dallas here.
Hey, we're not doing that.
Why not?
We're not drafting Jameson Williams. He's done.
He's not done.
I want to see him do something. I want to see him do something in the NFL. He's had 1 catch. Okay, this is not enough.
It was 40 yards.
It's not enough. This guy is trending in the wrong direction.
Cole Kmet Cole Kmet needs to be in consideration. Every
pick matters. Every pick matters here. Cole Kmet absolutely has to be in consideration.
I think he has to be picked here because we have DJ Moore.
What about Higbee though?
I mean, Higbee, we might double tap tight end here, and then we actually might not have to go 4. And I think there's no quarterback that we need here or that I really want. The value's at tight end right now.
The value's incredibly good at tight end.
This is really late for a lot of these guys.
I know. Well, especially Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee.
And post Kupp injury, Higbee should be going 2 rounds earlier in tight end premium. This is ridiculous.
I mean, Higbee usually goes,
they crossed against the Saints in week 16.
He usually goes around like mid to late round 9 lately. This is really late for him.
Yeah,
and then late for Dulcich
the Giants.
Right now too.
The Giants are nice because the Giants you can add a bunch of their cheap wide receivers late.
I mean, Dulcich has been going at the end of round 9 and beginning around 10 lately too. This is late for a lot of tight ends here. Kincaid is late right now. Oh, there goes Higbee.
Oh, that was tough. That was a tough watching Higbee go off the. Oh my God, that was tough. That was a tough swallow.
This guy's sniped us twice.
This guy's really beating us up, man.
Just on 2 picks, but
can we just grab? But Dulcich is a better player.
I was gonna say let's go Dulcich and Kmet.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
okay,
why not?
Let's go Dulcich, sure. And then let's take Kmet.
Yeah,
and
great.
Now we only need 3, and we technically could finish with 2. I like to go 3 though, but now I'm not really pressed to take another one earlier.
That's the beauty of double tapping tight end here is now you give yourself the flexibility that certainly if Irv Smith falls to us with our next pick, I think we should push the button.
Yeah, Irv Smith, or we could do like Jelani Woods because we have the Pittman piece.
Oh my God.
And
right, we just don't have Anthony Richardson. We do not have Anthony Richardson, everybody. We don't have Anthony Richardson. That's the only problem.
I mean, that might be a blessing because the guy can't throw the ball.
But what could happen is that if it's Gardner Minshew that week, then it's a huge win for us.
All right, over under. Let's talk some Anthony Richardson stats. I'm just curious. I want to put you on the number here. First of all, over under 14 games starting this year. Anthony Richardson.
Under, because he's probably going to start week 3. So there's 2 off the board right there, and then he's a rushing quarterback, so that increases his probability of getting injured. Then there's also the probability or the possibility that he struggles, and Minshew has to
throw the
sub
ball
in for him just to appease the coaches and the fans for a couple weeks before they turn it back over to him, and then by that time, he's under.
So that's why. So I just recently moved him in the projections to 15 games. He was at 14 games for the longest time. But I agree with you. I think 14 is realistic. So how about passing yards? Over or under 3,100?
I'm expecting him to go under 3,000, like 2,900-ish.
I could see that too. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So that's just realistic. I mean, I hate being a realist. I hate.
Now, what about rushing? Because that's where he's gonna make his money, right?
Yeah, rushing.
Over under 650.
Yeah, that's the number. I was just gonna say I was between 600 and 700. I was like 650. Yeah, exactly that number.
It's no over under on the dot.
So what about our next pick though? Can we go back to receiver, or
I'm fine going back. Are you
starting to have an appetite for running back at some point?
No, I'm completely fine getting a little off the hinge. I think Tyler Algiers probably needs to be added here if he makes
Tyler
it back.
Boyd is out there. That's a stack.
Yeah, Boyd probably won't make it, but
Boyd is the
I can't believe Rashee Rice is still on the board still too. People are just forgetting about Kansas City today.
Well, we have Sky Moore. That's the one that matters. Sky Moore is going to outproduce him. So
I think he does, but Rice is still a really good receiver in my opinion. And they're saying he has some of the best chemistry right now with Mahomes. I really hope.
Second-round wide receivers, Billy.
Yes.
Second-round wide receivers rarely fire in their rookie year.
Oh, I agree. And third round's even worse.
You just want to take a guy like Michael Wilson, Jaden Reed will probably fire, but later in the season. Rashee Rice, just put those guys off to the side. Right? Put those guys in a suitcase.
The thing is, though, is they don't have a lot of weapons there. So it's very easy for him to actually hit because the opportunity is going to be there.
Dude, Tyler Boyd is a starter in 3 receiver sets.
Rashee Rice is probably a starter.
Is a potential monster with Joe Burrow if and when one of Higgins or Chase misses games. The probability that both starting receivers don't miss any games it's a rare event.
Yeah, contingent value, you like Tyler Boyd. But when you look at 2 receiver sets, Rashee Rice is probably going to be on the field because Tony's hurt. MVS was just a field stretcher.
MVS is going to be out there, man. MVS is going to be out there.
I think that Rice might play more than people think.
He's an SMU receiver. It's not going to happen in his rookie year. It's not. It's just not. It's not. I wish it was. I wish it would, but it's just not.
I'm really hoping Tyler Algier makes it back.
Well, yeah, we have to talk about Algier, Roschon. I'm starting to have an appetite for running back again. My stomach's growling.
We could tap Roschon and Tyler here. It'd be a good turn for us. It gives us 4 running backs.
Dude, that's freaking.
Because it gives us 4 running backs and it deepens our stack. Because then we get Atlanta and Chicago there.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we're stacking Chicago in an epic way.
Chicago does have a good shootout schedule.
Yes, they do.
Carolina 15, Indianapolis. Oh, no, I'm on the wrong line here. God damn it. Cleveland week 15, Arizona week 16, Atlanta 17. That 16-17 is going to could be money.
It's pretty epic.
Pretty epic.
Yep. I'm glad you came around on this whole Fields DJ Moore scheme.
Wasn't crazy about it, but I
think you've come around.
I under-own DJ Moore and I under-own Fields because Fields used to go at the 3-4 turn and I just couldn't do it.
No, yeah, you can't.
And so now that he goes in like round 5 pretty consistently, I've been adding more exposure in. I've been adding more DJ Moore in. And so like I'm underweight on these two. And so I consciously know that and I've been adding more. I just try to do it in a manner to where I'm not overpaying for them.
Do our players cross against the Browns much?
Yeah, we play. So Chicago plays them week 15.
Anything else?
Cleveland plays Houston and the Jets 16-17.
Oh yeah, that's not great.
I was
gonna say Donovan Peoples-Jones, another receiver to load up on. Oh my God, love DPJ late. Oh God,
there's Darnell Mooney sitting down there still too.
Oh my God, Mooney as well. Michael Mayer, we have some crossing at the end of the season against the Raiders.
Yeah, Vegas, that would give you Indianapolis and Kansas City.
I like Mayer as our 3rd tight end. I think we could be solid and comfortable with 3 tight ends if our 3rd tight end was Michael Mayer. But the idea that we can double tap Algier and Roschon Johnson here is, I mean, Best Ball S has been crushing our dreams round in, round out.
And he only has 2 green stickers. Make me nervous. Algier is the top green sticker. And Roschon's the 2nd green sticker.
But a lot of people don't have any stomach appetite for pure backup running backs.
They do not.
They don't. So he might go Tajay Spears here. He could go
Singletary,
Gainwell. They actually have more.
God fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy. God damn it.
That's 3 times he's gotten us.
Here goes God.
Oh man, that was our deep Atlanta stack piece right there.
Oh God, we got to get Hollins now.
Well, Roschon's definitely one.
Roschon for the win.
So it's Roschon, Mooney.
What about Rondale Moore?
Rondale Moore gives us week 16, I believe, for Chicago.
Yeah, we gotta get an Arizona player, and I think now is the time to strike on.
We could do Rondale Moore on the way back. If he makes it, we could get Trey McBride. So let's go Roschon.
Well, yeah, you lock in Roschon and lock in Rondale.
We could do Rondale,
and then we can figure out tight end with the next pick. With the next pick, we'll figure out tight end, figure out what we want to do.
I mean, we don't have to even go into tight if we don't really want to. I think we probably
But
should.
McBride's a great option.
So it's either Rondell or do you want to? The other one was Darnell Mooney.
No, dude, listen.
I think we have enough.
I think we have our chips placed where they need to be with Chicago.
I think so too. I think we're good. Okay.
Nice.
The other name we could have potentially taken there was Derek Carr, but it's okay. I'm fine pushing tight quarterback when we spend early.
Continuing to push quarterback to a ridiculous extent. Derek Carr should have been drafted by us there. That was pretty. No, that was pretty bold.
I'm fine. I mean, we talked about Ritter, Atlanta, because we need to increase the Atlanta pieces.
Oh my God, Ritter is the Oh yes, thank you for saying that. Okay, now we can definitely go Ritter, no doubt.
We have to go Ritter.
We have to go Ritter. We have.
We're gonna have to reach on Ritter.
We're gonna have to reach on Ritter, but I mean, Russell Wilson's still on the board, so we still.
Yeah,
I know there's no stack. Kenny Pickett.
Ritter's usually a round 18 pick, beginning of round 18, so we would have to take Ritter in the beginning of 17, most likely.
That's fine.
Yeah, and that's not that big of a reach.
Are we drafting 3 quarterbacks then?
No, we don't have to. I'm fine going Ritter and Fields.
Wow. That shit is so crazy to me. I get it. I know the theory of the case here, but Jesus, it feels so fragile yet.
It's very fragile.
I'm in. Let's do it. I believe.
We could there's some late pieces at quarterback if you really wanted to take a third. I mean, we could take Baker, I mentioned
Baker
earlier.
Mayfield. No, Baker Mayfield.
We could gamble on somebody like Tannehill, or you could even go Stroud, who kind of falls in drafts. You could just see what happens, right? So there's different options.
Who would you stack Stroud with?
John Mechie. You could go.
Now we're talking. That's a skinny stack I like.
Yeah, you could do that. And then Houston gives us.
Don't we cross with Houston? I think we crossed with Houston and some of our other players.
No, we talked about going with Cleveland, but we didn't go that direction because they got Tennessee twice and then Cleveland in between.
So let's look at Houston. Houston, they play Cleveland week 16 and Tennessee week 17.
And
both at home.
They play Tennessee week 15 as well. They got double Tennessee in the shootout. That's why I started liking Henry more this year, was because Henry's going to run all over them 2 out of 3 weeks in the shootout.
This is interesting.
Look at the guys we talked about go all right after. We talked about Mooney. We talked about Singletary. We talked about Rashee Rice. All 3 of the next 4 picks. Where I talked about Rashee Rice.
There's so many receivers I like. Terrace Marshall's late.
Trey McBride, if he makes it back, I think it fits the team too well.
Oh, I think we have to go. Yeah, we're definitely going Trey McBride if he's there. But I fully expect Best Ball S to.
I don't know. He's got 2 also.
To hold our dreams in his hand.
This is a quarterback heavy draft.
Show them to us and then throw them on the ground, stomp them out.
Pickett's still on the board. Stafford's still on the board. You know who I really like? Jerome Ford. And the fact that they didn't even play him a single snap in preseason tells me he's going to play more.
They're protecting him.
Yep.
But he's not going to. Well, wait, actually, we have a whole round to go. He's going to get drafted.
Yeah, he probably will get drafted.
He's definitely going to get drafted. I love Gainwell more than Ford.
DPJ's still there too. DPJ will make it back.
I'm a big fan of just receivers.
Rashid Shaheed's in there. I know he had a little injury, but he'll be okay.
Rashid Shaheed's. Oh my God, that's the stat. Oh wait. Can we stack Carr Shaheed?
Well, Carr's on the top of the board. I doubt he makes it back.
It's not the craziest thing. Juwan Johnson's also.
Didn't we say we had? I forgot the Vegas is in the mix here because of the crosshairs. I forgot who they played though. Vegas is Chargers, KC, Indianapolis. So Zamir White's now on the board for us too.
That's right, Zamir White. But listen, this is something I talked about in the Mind and Mansion show. If you have
There goes Drum Ford.
the singular exciting receiving option for a team, then whoever that quarterback is, especially if he's a late round quarterback, he's going to fall rounds past his typical ADP because it's the Chris Olave manager who is the one that is supporting his existing ADP. And if you are the Chris Olave manager and you refuse to draft him, you are going to initiate a free fall in his ADP in your particular draft room because there is no demand for Derek Carr outside us and whoever has Michael Thomas.
Yeah, Michael Thomas, the guy has 2 quarterbacks. He got Hurts and Rodgers, so probably unlikely to take him, but people take 3 quarterbacks all the time in this format.
Now Michael Thomas manager is set at quarterback.
Yeah, the problem
There's
is
officially no demand for Derek Carr. There's no one that wants Derek Carr.
if we make it past this guy, we have a good chance.
But
of actually
the Juwan Johnson
this guy's probably
drafter actually selected Kenny Pickett over Derek Carr, as he should. Kenny Pickett's better.
This guy only has 1 quarterback, and it's Geno Smith, though. That's the problem.
The guy who's picking right now.
Yeah,
so he could pick Stafford. He could pick anybody.
He could
pick Bryce Young.
He could.
Doesn't have to be Derek Carr. Dude,
I found anytime they stare at the clock,
this long, hate Derek Carr, right? Derek Carr is not well liked.
Oh, he didn't pick him. He took Thielen. Yes. Now everybody has 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean,
he might make it back.
Late round quarterbacks go into free fall because their whole ADP is supported by Chris Olave drafters getting anxious. And if you're a Chris Olave drafter who is not anxious, then his ADP is necessarily at least a round later than what it shows in the queue on the player pool.
This guy in the 2 holes looking at our team, looking at how he can fuck us, though.
Why do you say that? Why would you say that?
That's what people do in best ball. They literally just stack block. They will just look at what you have. And even if it is a detriment to their team, this is like the scum of the earth of best ball players. We need to think of a name for these people because these people exist. They literally will just look at, there goes Derek Carr for his 3rd quarterback, but they will just look.
The guy took his 3rd quarterback as Derek Carr.
Yes.
What a base move. Dick.
I mean, arguably it might be his number 1 quarterback.
Really strong move by him.
He did need a 3rd quarterback, though. He's got Richardson and Purdy right now.
This is brutal.
Okay, well, there's still 2 guys I really like on the board right now, and we can push quarterback 1 more round.
We're going to continue to push quarterback. CJ Stroud. We're going to hope we can get CJ Stroud later.
And Ritter. So there's 4 people I really like here, actually. There's Trey McBride. There's Rashid Shaheed. There's Zamir White. There's Donovan Peoples-Jones.
What about Jelani Woods?
Yeah, you can get him later.
All right, so we're going to wait because the ADP.
Jelani Woods you can get around like 16, 17.
Okay.
I have later shares too. Just depends.
Kenneth Gainwell should not be here.
Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell goes all over the place.
Kenneth Gainwell should not be here, period.
Yeah, Gainwell's a tricky one. He goes in round 14. He
has the 16. Great best ball play because he has standalone value. He's their 2-minute drill back by default.
Trey McBride just went.
If we don't have Derek Carr, stacking Shaheed doesn't make sense.
No, not as much, but it gives you
now have negative correlation against Olave. You don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah, like we can take him out. Because we don't have Carr. I'm fine with that.
Let's just draft players we like right now.
I like Zamir White a lot. There, look at the guy who can take Gainwell. Look at that.
Oh, you fuck! The same guy every time. Oh, Dream Crusher. Oh my god, that really hurt me. That hurt me, man. I'm hurt, man. I'm hurt. I'm hurt, dog. I'm not feeling good. We gotta go DPJ Zamir White, I guess.
That's the way I'm leaning. I'm just making sure we're not missing anybody.
Yeah. That's the move. That's what we got to do.
That's the way I'm leaning. Yeah, let's do it. Let's take DPJ first. Zamir White second. That gives us 4 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 receivers. We're almost done. I like going 10 receivers. Can we though? We have 2 tight ends. We could take a third. We'll need 2, so we'll need a tight end. We'll need another probably 2 running backs. We'll probably get 9 receivers in this build.
Well, if your first 4 receivers are Jefferson, Olave, Moore, Pittman,
yeah, you're pretty safe
with Cooks. I mean, Cooks is, one of the steadiest receivers of the last decade. So that Pittman
it really is. He's so
doesn't miss a game. Moore doesn't miss a game. Cooks doesn't miss games, except that one Super Bowl where he got concussed. And Jefferson never misses games. I mean, this is wow. If there was a build where you could feel comfortable with 8 or 9 receivers, it'd be this build. I forgot we had Dulcich. We should stack a little bit more Bronco here. What about Marvin Mims, dude?
Yeah, Mims. Oh, shit. He usually goes in 15, 16. Yep. No, too late. He will not make it back.
Marvin Mims would have been sexy.
Yeah, I like Zamir White there better for us. We need a running back.
Well, how much more do you prefer Donovan Peoples-Jones to Marvin Mims?
I think it's close. Especially the consolidated target tree now inside Denver with all the injuries. I think it's close now, but DPJ was a favorite target of Watson last year.
Yes.
And he had several top 30 wide receiver weeks during the end of the season. And he was kind of sneaky about it. I think that he's going to have a larger role than people are expecting. And we got him as wide receiver 68.
Do you want to hear the grossest possible stack that I think we maybe consider?
Oh, I love gross stacks. Please tell me.
Otten Mayfield.
You could do Otten and Mayfield. Gives you Tampa. That finishes we could do Ritter, Otten, Mayfield towards the end.
It's
Otten's kind of underrated.
I don't mind it. I mean, Otten is the clear starting tight end. There's no one else there.
No. We're gonna have to take Ritter next turn though. So Ritter's one.
Oh no, we're taking Ritter. We're taking Ritter. Though Matthew Stafford continues to hang out there, and we could do a backdoor stack of Stafford and no,
because you got Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson's gone.
So you'd have to either go
say Van Jefferson.
You'd have to go Tutu Atwell. You'd have to go Tutu, or you have to go Puka Nakua if you want to go that route.
Oh boy, that's grody. Too grody.
You know who's still sitting there? Your favorite running back in the world, Chase Brown, who goes with the build.
No. Michael Mayer is. You know what? To go Otten over Michael Mayer, I don't think that's possible. But we might not be able to draft Mayer because we might have to pick Ritter.
Mayer probably goes before he makes it back to us.
It's probably not going to make it back to us.
If Mims makes it back, though, that makes the conversation interesting.
That's the thing. Mims could be there.
If Mims makes it back to us, that's
Ritter.
We
got to go Mims Ritter.
And then you grab Otten late. I actually hope that happens. I like that idea.
Because McBride's long gone.
You know who I own a lot of this year that I made fun of you last year for drafting? Was Devontae Parker. Remember our Devontae Parker debate?
Yeah, Devontae Parker, he's a starter.
They just paid him $33 million.
He's going to be the starter for another year. This is best ball. We just want targets. We don't care at this point in the draft.
And Juju's still having knee issues.
Oh, Juju's dust. Juju's just as dusty as Devontae Parker. He's like 3 years younger.
Yeah. We got Keontae Ingram we could take with this team. Because the Arizona piece.
Now we're talking. Don't forget about your Pierre Strong love.
Yeah, Pierre Strong is on the table.
Don't keep that fire burning.
We can talk about Evan Hull for Indianapolis stack.
No, we have Jonathan Taylor.
I mean, if he's
negative correlation up. But we're not doing that. We're not betting against ourselves.
Okay. This is where you kind of hedge, because if JT goes to a different team,
kind of hedge.
Now you have 2 of the starting running backs, arguably, because JT goes to a different team. Now you have the 1B or 1A, whatever he's going to be, with probably Deion Jackson.
We're really operating under any possible notion of outcome that Jonathan Taylor's not a Colt?
Really? He may not be a Colt. I think he will play for somebody else before he sets out.
Wait, okay. Let me just keep you focused. I'm looking at the queue. Can you just put Mac Hollins on your list? We got to make sure we get Mac
round
Hollins.
18.
Okay. I also like Terrace Marshall, and I like Tyquan Thornton.
Tyquan Thornton, really?
Yeah, Tyquan Thornton had weeks last year, and he runs a 4.2.
Yeah, he's
and he's going to be playing.
He'll probably get some jet sweeps.
He'll get a lot of things.
Oh, your boy just went.
Thank God. Take all the bad players so we don't have to even consider them.
I can't believe Marvin Mims is going to make it back to us. He should not be here.
You are jinxing us. Best Ball S is listening, even though he's not listening, even though we're not live. He's still listening.
Dream Crusher in the 2 hole is going to kill us again.
Dream Crusher, Stream Destroyer. Well, Tannehill is also there. I'm looking up some backdoor stacking opportunities with Tannehill. Unfortunately,
nothing other than they have Houston twice, and who do they play? 16. Tennessee,
Westbrook,
Seattle.
They have Seattle, so there's no good options there at all.
No, it's Tannehill's gonna
Houston twice, and the player I love on Houston, the player I want is Mechie. Mechie's the man.
Mechie just went, didn't he? He went early in this one.
Long gone.
He went way early in this draft.
He's long gone.
The guy stacked him.
We're potentially in line to get Marvin Mims. Listen, at this point, Best Ball S has just been selecting like best player available, and it's just the guy we also liked. If he goes Marvin Mims here,
he needs running back still.
If he goes Marvin Mims, I'm going to lose my mind.
He kind of needs receiver too, though.
Then this recording is bugged. He is spying on us.
We did unknowingly take DPJ from his stack because he has Watson.
Does he have Watson with Cooper?
He does not have Cooper, so we unknowingly took his DPJ stack.
Unknowingly.
Now I feel better about taking him. He's looking at how he can fuck us. Look at this every time. That's why it takes forever.
18.
He's analyzing our entire team.
16, 14, 10, 9. Come on, man.
Hey, Mims Ritter. Let's do it.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, Marvin Mims Ritter all day.
This team's
too easy. Really too easy, assholes. Back around with Marvin Mims and Kate Otten.
Mims is our wide receiver 9. That's awesome.
That's sex.
Mims has been climbing too. Like I saw him go in the 15th, like the beginning of round 15 the other day.
Because he's good. He's really good. Marvin Mims and Jaden Reed, the 2 second-round wide receivers, I expect to break out in the second half. Not Mingo. Not Rashee Rice.
Mims is fast too.
Mims is electric. And the difference is he was the only second rounder that was an early declare. The rest of those guys were all seniors.
He's the number 2 trending player right now in Player Profiler.
Why don't we take care of tight end, though?
Yeah. We're definitely going to address it here on the way back. So this is where we either get Jelani Woods, Kate Otten. So we're gonna probably take
Mayer. Michael Mayer's still out there.
Mayer's still out there. Probably goes though. So Hayden Hurst out there probably goes. Tyler Conklin goes. The thing is that we have a lot of tight ends ahead of. For some reason, tight end has really fallen in this draft, which is pretty rare for FFPC.
Yeah.
So I have a good feeling that we'll still get one more tight end that we like. I mean, we could even technically, if Ferguson makes it back to us, goes with Brandon Cooks.
Yes.
There's still a lot of pieces out there.
Yes.
There goes Kate Otten. Damn. Okay. That was actually the one.
Kate Otten with it. Now there's been a little mini tight end run here. Luke Musgrave goes. Hayden Hurst. Kate Otten.
There's still a lot.
Jelani Woods, though.
Jelani Woods is still there.
Happy to see Jelani Woods out there. Very happy to see it.
I'm going to add Keontae Ingram to the queue here because we need another running back on the way back.
We need another running back. Yeah, technically right now we only have 4 running backs because we
Yeah.
did select Zamir White recently, but we're going to need at least 5.
Yeah, minimum 5.
Pierre Strong, Joshua Kelly. Joshua Kelly is going to have some standalone value.
I think so too. He's going to there's a lot of running backs you can get late this year that have some upside.
I also like Evan Hull, but
Yeah.
man, I'm just so allergic and averse to handcuffing and best ball. It's so gross.
Yeah, I don't like stack cuffing, but it's
so
one of those
crazy.
It is one of those things where if Jonathan Taylor does get traded, though, now you have 2 RBs from 2 different teams, and arguably, of course, the number 1 or whatever team JT lands on, and arguably the number 1/2 if he with Hull. So it's one of those things where, yes, it is a stack cuff currently, but it's not necessarily going to be the entire season.
You know exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to play out.
Yeah, probably Taylor's going to stay, and then Hull's going to see like 30 carries all season.
What do you think about Jimmy Graham on New Orleans?
It's a retirement party.
They said he looks explosive.
You eat in the bathroom? Dude, there's no way, Jimmy Graham and explosive in 2023 can't be used in sentence.
Are we at all interested, by the way, in Leonard Fournette here? Because it's getting very late.
If he makes it back, Fournette, this is where you probably take Fournette and Hollins, or Fournette and Keontae Ingram, and then see if Mac Hollins falls to you.
We absolutely must draft Hollins.
Yeah, the problem is he goes undrafted a lot, so you can get him in round 20 all the time. The issue is if we don't get him on this one, then it kind of messes with our stack. So
no, we got to get him. So here's the question though. The next question really is, who else? Right? Who else?
Keontae Ingram makes a lot of sense because of our week 16 Arizona stack with Chicago. So he's on the board. Leonard Fournette is just probably going to land somewhere and probably still going to be top 40 back. Kareem Hunt probably going to land somewhere eventually, probably top 40, 45 back. So those guys are always in consideration.
I think that there's a lower probability that Kareem Hunt lands anywhere. It's possible the NFL has just said, we're done.
It's a possibility.
We're done.
You know who else is actually...
It's not worth it. It's not worth the aggravation.
There's another... So there's also Malik Davis, who goes with Dallas and Sky Moore.
No, because we're not sure it's Malik Davis. What about Rico Dottle? Rico Dottle's been running with the 2s. No way.
Then Rico Dottle could be a round 20 pick.
No, I mean, can we just not?
just
not and just assume Ezekiel Elliott goes there?
You know what we could do? It's kind of gross, but you could go Cordell Patterson and Mac Hollins on the next pick because it gives you a running back position and the Atlanta stack for Chicago.
That's true. Now, I do want to mention a player before the end of the draft. I want to mention a player that is going late that I like on a good offense.
You can mention it now.
Is actually
no one's listening.
Lined up to be the starter, I believe, in 3 receiver sets. His name's Deontay Hardy.
Oh, in Buffalo. Yeah.
Deontay Hardy in Buffalo is very interesting.
You think over Shakir, huh?
If Shakir doesn't fire, Deontay Hardy has been a quality receiver at points in his career with the Saints, especially. And it wasn't a great situation that he was in there. And he has had weeks. He's interesting. Hardy's interesting. Calvin Austin's interesting as these late receivers, though our receiver room is so stacked.
Yeah, we have 9. By taking Hollins gives us 10.
I want to make sure that we just talk about these receivers late. We're not going to be drafting any of them because we're going for Hollins, unless Best Ball S. If Best Ball S takes Hollins, then I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be unreasonably angry.
So the question is, the biggest question we have left outside of the players that we know we want. The order is still to be determined, but do we want to go just 2 QBs and go super fragile, or with Ritter and Fields, or do we want to add a third quarterback in the mix of this team?
Well, we could.
If we add a third quarterback, there's no tight end we're adding.
we could another option.
This
that
might
I
be a
should
2 tight end build, actually. This could...
I should bring up another option. This is a backdoor stack that is as late as you could possibly imagine. It's not for the faint of heart. Okay. Mac Jones, Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, you could do that. They stack with Buffalo week 17.
It's not the craziest thing of all. That would be kind of hilarious.
And then you could see if Pierre Strong makes it back.
But
we talked about having to take Mac Hollins.
I think we have to take Mac Hollins, and then we're going to have a conversation. Are we going Baker Mayfield? Though we don't have any Buccaneers receivers.
We don't have any. We have Rachaad White, though.
Rachaad White is, thankfully, a great receiver.
There goes Cordell Patterson. There goes the option that we even had there. Interesting. Okay, so Mac Hollins is it Mac Hollins and Leonard Fournette here?
I think Mac Hollins for sure.
We want to take him with 19, though. So who are we picking first? So it's either Pierre Strong, Leonard Fournette, because we need a running back here, or Keontae Ingram.
We have to decide, are we going with a third quarterback or not?
I'm fine saying no unless one of them comes all the way back to 20. We don't like somebody.
Okay. That's the answer there.
Fournette, Keontae Ingram here.
Fournette, Keontae, or Pierre Strong?
Or Pierre Strong. I lean Fournette probably over both those guys.
Let's just take Mac Hollins and let's have a debate.
All right. Okay, Mac Hollins is there. So now it's either Fournette, who, if he lands somewhere, probably immediately in the mix, top 40 RB. Keontae Ingram, I know he just got a little injury, but he's fine. And then
he might not be any good, though.
And they added Marlon Mack.
It's a terrible team, and Kyler Murray.
I like the chances of Fournette better.
Actually, will crowd out touchdowns. Pierre Strong is interesting, but Pierre Strong could easily be available in the next round.
He could be in the next round.
Yeah, there's no guarantee someone's going to select Pierre
Keontae
Strong.
Ingram could be in the next round. Let's go Fournette.
Can we just please select Fournette?
Yeah, let's go Fournette.
He shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be here.
Back.
Yeah.
Fournette's been falling, though, just because he hasn't signed anywhere.
We all know why he hasn't signed anywhere. Come on.
He doesn't want to pray. He doesn't want to go.
Our running back room now is Jonathan Taylor, Rachaad White, Roschon Johnson, Zamir White, Leonard Fournette.
And Fournette goes in like round 16, 17. So
that's not bad.
We got a good discount on him.
Round 19, Leonard Fournette.
I'll take it.
We have our receiver room is totally done, locked in, complete.
10 receivers.
Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Brandon Cooks, Sky Moore, Rondale Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Marvin Mims, Mac Hollins. We have as fragile of a 2 tight end build as you could possibly imagine with Dulcich, Kmet, as fragile of a 2 quarterback build as you could ever imagine with Fields and Ritter. They're both mobile. One of them is completely unproven. The other one has been injured both seasons because he runs at such a high volume. This is as fragile of a lineup as you could possibly get, and yet it's so sexy because this receiver room, this receiver group, these 10 receivers are just to die for.
Yeah, the 10 receivers are great.
It's so interesting. So now we're in cover our ass mode in the final rounds.
Which is great because it opens up running back, quarterback, and tight end, because we could sure up a running back position and go fragile at those other 2, or we could sure up one of those other 2. I don't necessarily think we have to go 6 running backs with this build.
So we have one more pick to go.
Yeah, one more pick. Because right now we have Taylor, Rachaad White, Roschon Johnson, Zamir, and Fournette. So let's think about this options. Let's talk about it before it comes back.
No. We are betting on Josh Jacobs missing games and Leonard Fournette signing. Those 2 things happen. Yep. Our running back group is locked in just fine. It's an asset.
And then you're strong. Yeah. The only problem is if JT does go against what we believe will happen, now our running back room is pretty thin. Then Rachaad White is our RB1. Roschon is our RB2, who's who's been impressing in camp and been doing well in pass protection, which is good to hear. So he probably eventually takes the starting role. At the very least, probably immediately takes the pass protection and third down role. Zamir White is a lottery ticket right now.
If you're worried about the running game, then you should be selecting Joshua Kelly.
No, Kelly's just not that good.
Neither is Keontae Ingram.
No, I know. Keontae Ingram just, oh man.
Joshua Kelly is going to have weeks in best ball just because the team wants to preserve Eckler.
Yeah, and do always get him in the mix.
Injury contingent value. There's no one behind him. Isaiah Spiller can't play.
Yeah, the only other tight end I was even really thinking about was Austin Hooper.
Joshua Kelly's gone. Doesn't matter.
Thank you.
So Keontae Ingram becomes very interesting. We've decided we're sticking with 2 tight ends, right? Because there's no more tight ends you want.
I mean, you could go super upside play and go Kansas City. We talked about Kansas City. You could go Noah Gray and hedge that Kelsey gets hurt because Noah Gray is not that owned in this tournament. And if that happens, now you have Sky Moore and Noah Gray, but that's a pure lottery ticket is all it is.
It's pretty lame. Baker Mayfield's gone.
Yeah, Baker was the other one that was in our queue.
Baker Mayfield's gone. Now it's down to Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Mike White, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew.
I mean, Tucker Kraft is kind of interesting still, too.
Who?
Tucker Kraft, the rookie in Green Bay.
No. The probability a tight end breaks out who's a rookie is low, and then he has to then be better than Luke Musgrave. That's highly unlikely.
Schoonmaker is coming back from his plantar fasciitis soon. That's Dallas with our Brandon Cooks.
No, we're not doing a rookie.
I think we just go. I think we're going fragile tight end.
We're doing fragile tight end. We have 2 locked in number 1 starters, Dulcich and Kmet. They're proven. They're in their prime. There's no worries with playing time or role. That's when you feel like you are compelled to go with a third tight end because there's some ambiguity with the role. Like when is Ertz coming back? What is his role going to be when he comes back? Playing next to or with McBride. There's ambiguity there. There's no ambiguity with Kmet. There's no ambiguity with Dulcich. At quarterback, you could just go Trey Lance and just shoot the moon there.
You could shoot the moon there. You could go Mac Jones, who's probably going to start 80+% of the year. There's no stack, but he's got Kansas City and Denver weeks 15 and 16, so you got some correlation at least.
So we have Mac Jones correlation.
I think it's Keontae Ingram, man. It shores up the running back position. It gives us that's our more correlation with Chicago, which is week 16 and then week 17 with Arizona with Chicago. And that would give you Rondale Moore and Keontae Ingram from that team. Gives you 6 running backs.
So fragile. I love it, man. I love it. Let's go.
At least the tight ends we have could both of them could be inside the top 12.
No, it's fine. No, we're not going tight end. I have dispelled any notion of us drafting a tight end here. We're fine at tight end. I think I'm very comfortable. Keontae Ingram may be selected by a manager named Best Ball S. I just want to warn you that that's a possibility now. Just putting it out there. It could happen. There's also Kenny McIntosh.
Oh, he got hurt the other day.
Oh, that's sad.
He had his knee bent all awkward.
Oh, Jesus.
And then what's his name?
What about DJ Dallas?
Charbonnet came back. He's already back. No.
Charbonnet's hand is being strengthened.
Charbonnet's back, and I think Walker's going to be fine. Terrace Marshall.
He went Terrace Marshall. We don't need a receiver. That's a great pick, though. Best Ball S doing a great job. We're going Keontae Ingram. We're locking it in. We're stacking the Bears like you've never seen. Unbelievable job, Billy.
I like the draft overall.
Oh, God, yeah.
I really like it, actually.
We always like our drafts, but this is
we
great.
got discounts on Dulcich and Komet. I mean, Komet was about ADP, but Dulcich was a discount. Tight end went late in this draft.
I'm very happy with how things played out. I mean,
let's read the team for the audio listeners.
Fields Ritter is such a crazy, fragile QB build.
But they both have rushing upside, which is great.
But I love it. And I'm not a person that's sitting here going, don't forget about Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke could start games. Taylor Heineke, hey, Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke's nothing. Taylor Heineke had his moment, right? You have to identify players that have had their moment and they're unlikely to repeat that moment. Heineke had his moment and it's over. Okay. Our quarterbacks are Fields and Ritter. Who are our running backs?
Let's run through the whole, for the audio listeners, let's just run through rounds 1 through 20. So round 1, from the 1 hole, we took Justin Jefferson. Round 2, Chris Olave. Round 3, we took Jonathan Taylor. We did that deliberately so we could push Jonathan Taylor's ADP down one more spot. Justin Fields in round 4. DJ Moore in round 5. Rashad White in round 6. Michael Pittman in round 7. Brandon Cooks in round 8. Sky Moore in round 9. Why don't you read the rest of them?
That's a beauty. That is a beauty. Let me go to our team briefly. So
round 10.
Sky Moore in round 9, right?
Yep.
And then Greg Dulcich in round 10. Cole Kmet in round 11. Then in round 12, end of round 12, Roshan Johnson. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Rondale Moore to open up round 13. At the end of round 14, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Then in round 15, Zamir White. Marvin Mims in round 16. And finally, we came back with our second quarterback in Desmond Ritter. Then Mac Hollins to round out our Atlanta stack with Ritter. Just the most backdoor stack of all time. And I love it.
We reached on it too. We did reach on it.
We reached a little bit. Leonard Fournette, incredible value. Keontae Ingram at the end. Bang! That's it. So again, Fields Ritter at quarterback. Taylor, White, Johnson, Zamir White, Fournette, Ingram at running back. Receivers are Jefferson, Olave, Moore, Pittman, Cooks, Sky Moore, Rondale Moore. So we have 3 Moores. It's hard to get more Moores than that. Then we have Donovan Peoples-Jones, Marvin Mims, Matt Collins, and we rounded out at tight end, Dulcich, Komet, oh baby. Hey, I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning in. It's important to me that all of our media be free. This is only possible because of you, allowing a true independent sports media enterprise to thrive unlike any other in the business. So please subscribe to the All In Package to continue to make all of this possible, to ensure that all of our stats, information, data, content is available to you, especially you, the people that get the site and get the show.